We've been around since there was footage. You just have to look for us.
One of the films that is often credited with inventing what's called the dynamic montage. It's a D.W. Griffith film, and the story is of Judith of Bethulia, who's a good Jewish woman who lives in Jerusalem. Then the invading army is coming. And Judith, to save the city, pretends to be a concubine of Holofernes, the general. And while she is in his tent, she takes a sword and cuts his head off. There's a claim that this is one of the first films that we know of where the cut in the film is used to advance the story. And there's a kind of like trans or, gender non-binary character who is kind of circulating around the cut in the narrative. It's almost like the figure of the cut trans body, the eunuch who's been castrated or emasculated, who is a cut figure, presides over the invention of the cinematic cut. It's like trans and cinema have grown up together. It's like we have always been present on screen, and it's not just coincidental. I mean, there's something really deeply connected.
Can we all just talk about D.W. Griffith for a minute? As the Missy Elliott song would say, we need to just back it up for a minute. The fact that we study and teach D.W. Griffith without saying a word about the representation, I'm glad I didn't go to film school. Because if I had seen Birth of a Nation, when they got to that blackface moment, when this guy springs up from behind a bush wanting to rape the white woman, that would have been it for me at film school, right? That would have been my last day. Not only is D.W. Griffith incredibly racist, but he understands that you can turn gender nonconforming people into the joke of your story.
It's like, oh yeah, great, D.W. Griffith, you racist piece of shit. You've invented the stereotype in film, well done.
If you look at that early silent film, A Florida Enchantment, it foregrounds questions of gender change and using blackface while you're using gendered cross-dressing, just like it's these sort of twin fascinations that, they're always sort of tangled up with each other somehow.
It's interesting when you look at things historically, in terms of trans-masculine experience. First, there's no such vocabulary back in the day of trans anything. In the Florida Enchantment, she eats a seed, and then voila, she wakes up, she's a man. And not only were we looking at gender expression, but then also the racist expectations. So the white person becomes this high society dandy, like the ideal of what a man should be. But then her handmaid is forced to take the seat. She becomes this aggressive valet who's violent. And so even in this gender transgressive fantasy, you still have white characters in blackface playing these horribly fantastical versions of black people.
There are lots of ugly things about our history that feel like an assault, I think. But I think we have to know them. I think we have to learn them.
Stu Banks usually gets what Stu Banks wants.